I finished all my tasks in 7 minutes, which should have been a good thing, except I'm the imposter and imposters don't have tasks. My task list said swipe card in admin, so I swiped a card I shouldn't have, and the machine said accepted like it forgot I was supposed to murder everyone. Then it gave me another task, a line engine output and upper engine, and I thought maybe the ship was having a stroke or I was having a stroke or we were all having a collective stroke. But I completed it anyway because when a spaceship gives you tasks, you do them, even if you're supposed to be a parasitic alien wearing a dead crew member's skin. Green saw me finish the engine task and gave me a thumbs up, completely unaware they were congratulating a killer on their excellent work ethic. The problem started when the task completion felt good, like really good, better than killing ever felt, which was concerning on multiple levels. I downloaded data in Cafeteria, and the progress bar filled with such satisfaction that I forgot to kill Orange, who was standing right next to me. Orange asked if I was okay because I was making weird, happy noises at a computer, and I said I'm great, I just love downloading, which made them leave quickly. My imposter partner Yellow called an emergency meeting to ask why I hadn't killed anyone, and I said I was busy optimizing workflow, which wasn't a real answer. Yellow said we have a kill quota, and I said actually we have a task list now, and held up my tablet showing 17 completed objectives. The crew started getting suspicious, not because I was acting like an imposter, but because I was acting like the world's most enthusiastic employee. Cyan said nobody likes tasks that much, it's not natural, and I said maybe you're just not aligned with your core values, which made everyone uncomfortable. I started completing other people's tasks without asking, which is technically helpful but also deeply unsettling when you're supposed to be murdering them. Blue said thanks, but why? And I said because task completion is its own reward, and they reported me in the next meeting for being a workplace cult leader. Purple defended me by saying, I fixed the lights 3 times and imposters don't fix lights, which was fair except I fixed them because the darkness was making it hard to see my task list. That's when I realized the ship was training me, using positive reinforcement to turn a killer into a janitor with homicidal tendencies. Every completed task gave me a little dopamine hit. Every checkmark felt like validation, and suddenly I understood why crew members smiled while doing garbage disposal. I was becoming the thing I was supposed to destroy, a productive member of society who contributes to team objectives instead of eating them. Yellow killed Pink in navigation, and I got angry, not because Pink was dead, but because Pink was supposed to help me with the steering task. I called an emergency meeting and said Yellow is the imposter, and Yellow said you're literally also the imposter. And I said yeah, but I'm the productive one. Everyone voted Yellow out, including me, because apparently contributing to the team's success is more valuable than solidarity with fellow parasitic aliens. Yellow's last words were, "You've become everything we hate," which stung, but not as much as seeing my taskbar hit 87% completion. I was the last imposter now, which meant I should have been picking off crew one by one, but I had 3 tasks left and they weren't going to complete themselves. Orange walked past me in medbay while I was scanning myself, which imposters can't do, except I was doing it, and the scanner said healthy like it was proud of me. Orange said, "How are you doing that?" And I said determination and a positive attitude, which was technically true but also completely insane. I completed my final task in Reactor, fixed the oxygen, aligned the telescope, and felt a sense of accomplishment that no amount of murder had ever given me. The ship made a sound it had never made before, a pleasant ding like a microwave finishing, and my taskbar said 100% in glowing letters. Then the ship's computer announced, "Congratulations, Red, you are Employee of the Month," and I started crying, which imposters also aren't supposed to do. The entire crew gathered in Cafeteria and gave me a standing ovation, completely forgetting that technically I was there to harvest their internal organs. Cyan presented me with a certificate they'd printed in medical, which just said "Good job" in Comic Sans, and I treasured it more than any kill I'd ever made. But I still had to win, had to complete my actual mission, which was killing everyone, and I realized I'd backed myself into an emotional corner. I couldn't kill them now, not after they'd believed in me, not after I'd proven that even imposters could contribute positively to workplace culture. Green asked if I wanted to do a double task in electrical, and I said yes, even though I'd already completed all my tasks, because task addiction doesn't care about completion bars. I started making up tasks, pretending to fix things that weren't broken, just to feel that sweet dopamine hit of responsibility and contribution. Blue caught me polishing the card swipe machine and asked what I was doing, and I said preventative maintenance, which wasn't a real task but felt like one. I called an emergency meeting and confessed everything, told them I was the imposter, showed them my kill button, and waited for them to vote me out. Instead, Orange said, "We know, Red. We've known since round 1, and I said then, why didn't you vote me? And they said, because you fixed the Wi-Fi. Apparently, having a functioning ship with completed tasks was more valuable than safety, which was either genius or the worst survival strategy in human history. Cyan said you're the best crew member we've ever had, and technically you haven't killed anyone, and I realized they were right about the second part. I'd been so focused on tasks that I'd forgotten to murder anyone, making me the only imposter in history to fail by being too helpful. Purple suggested I could just stay as crew, keep doing tasks, and we'd pretend the imposter thing never happened, like a workplace HR agreement. I asked what happens when we get back to headquarters, and they said we'll tell them we had a really productive imposter, which sounded like a lie, but also technically true. Green said the imposter recruitment program needs to know that task completion is more addictive than murder, which could revolutionize the whole system. I realized I had a choice: embrace my new identity as the galaxy's first productivity-focused imposter, or kill everyone and complete my original mission. But the choice had already been made the moment I swiped that first card, the moment the ship told me good job and I believed it. So I stayed, became the ship's permanent maintenance imposter, the alien who chose spreadsheets over slaughter. When new imposters came aboard, I taught them task completion instead of killing techniques, which had a surprisingly high conversion rate. Yellow's replacement tried to kill Orange, and I stopped them by saying, "There's a better high than murder. Let me show you the fuel task," and I swear it worked. The crew started calling me the Good Imposter, which became my official title, printed on my ID badge and everything. Headquarters sent an investigation team, and we showed them our 100% task completion rate, and they said carry on, which felt like winning. I still have the kill button. It sits in my inventory unused, a reminder of who I could have been if the ship hadn't given me tasks. Sometimes I think about Yellow floating in space calling me a traitor, and wonder if they were right, if I abandoned my true nature. But then I complete another task, hear that satisfying ding, see the crew smile because the oxygen works, and I know I made the right choice. I'm Red. I'm an imposter. I've never killed anyone, and I have the highest task completion rate in the entire galaxy. They say you can't change your nature, but they've never experienced the pure joy of successfully swiping a card on the first try. Yellow was right about one thing, though. I did become everything we hate, and it turns out what imposters really hate is responsibility and a good work ethic. So if you ever get assigned imposter and feel that urge to complete tasks instead of killing, don't fight it, lean into it, become the employee of the month. Because at the end of the day, a completed task list brings more satisfaction than any murder ever could. And that's the most horrifying revelation of all. Trust me, I'm a reformed imposter with a laminated certificate and severe task addiction. I know what I'm talking about.